Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty in the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for another Do We Still Love Her video. Where is she? She's here. We are talking about Pat McGrath Mothership 2 Sublime. We're gonna swatch this palette. It is probably about 2 years old. Want to see how she's doing and create two looks. If that sounds good to you, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you want to hang out with someone that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community. I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So how are you? I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited. I have a day of conferences and then Thanksgiving break. So I'm thankful. That's all I can really say. Just thankful to be able to take a break, and I'm thankful for my motherships. Let's talk about Mothership 2. Now, I had made a thumbnail to do a Do We Still Love Her video about a month ago. And then my friend Liz told me she bought Sublime. And recently I watched a video by Alicia Archer, and she was talking about the top 5 motherships, and Sublime was one of them. And it just made me want to expedite this process. I was like, let me pull this palette out. Let's see how she's doing. We got to check on our palettes, y'all. They're like my little babies. Like, oh, let's see how we're swatching, see how we're doing, because we know that it's not going to last forever. Now, this mothership came out before my makeup life. And before I knew anything about who Pat McGrath was and all of her awesomeness. And this launched with 2 other motherships. So I believe in 2018, I want to say it was 2018, Pat McGrath launched Mothership 1 Subliminal, Mothership 2 Sublime, and Mothership 3 Subversive at the same time. And according to Alicia, Sublime is the one that sold out, probably because of its neutral color story, you know, with those pops. Yeah, I just knew nothing about Pat McGrath at the time, so I got all of these really late in the game. Now recently, and I'm not sure if it's still going on at this time, Pat McGrath was having the Black Friday sale, and it's up to 40% off. I made 2 orders because, man, Pat, like, here's the thing. Whether I see Mama Pat's vision or not, I have not ever tried one bad Pat McGrath product, not one, regardless of whether or not I like the color story. You know, like, good is good, great is great, you know. So that's how I feel about Pat McGrath. It's just right now, like, my vision and her vision may not be aligned, but that is totally fine. And I also love the fact that I can go back to my older palettes. I have a very extensive Pat McGrath collection and love on the things that I have. So without further ado, let us take a closer look at Mothership 2 Sublime. Here is the packaging. I have always wanted to know the significance of the fly. So if you know, please let me know. I've always wanted to know, but I love it. Like the fly in the mouth. I love the artwork for the motherships. And of course, we have the black lacquered packaging here, and then the card in the inside that gives us all of the shade names, which I just love how just beautiful and sleek these motherships look. They just look so luxurious. And I feel like that every time I open up a mothership. I'm like, yes, this is it. That sounds so dramatic. Okay. My palette is far from clean, but I'm going to show it to you up close. So here is Sublime. You see we have the Extreme Black, which is in several of her mothership palettes. We have a Skin Show shade, and then we have our 4 Baked Special shades. And you know, in her latter motherships, we don't have these baked shades. So I don't know if these are a thing of the past or if they will return, but we have seen the it was not even a transition, it's just a change from these more like lifted baked shades to a different special formula. Still special, but not the same. And if you take the special shades away, you see we have a really beautiful neutral color story that I just think is suitable for every day. So there she is. Now this palette was made in Italy. It does have an 18-month shelf life, but I told you it's beyond the 18 months. I know I've probably had this one for about 2 years. So let's go ahead and swatch it and see. I do have a shade that looks like it has a little bit of hard pan here, but it's still swatching fine. So you'll see that. So let's go ahead and start with Skin Show Glow, Copper Toned, and Iconic. Iconic's the one I'm talking about that has the little bit of what appears to be hard pan, which I meant to grab some tape because I was like, you know, I can definitely lift it off with some tape. It's not that serious. So this is the Skin Show shade, and she has these in all of her motherships. I think these are really suitable for inner corner highlights and brow bone highlights. They're not my favorite shades, but I think they're good for that. I wouldn't put these all on the lid or anything like that. They're kind of a satiny formula. So those are the only two uses for the Skin Show shades for me. Next we have Copper Toned, which is a satin shimmer. This one, I always say, like, Pat McGrath has some formulas where you can use these like mattes and you can use them also for shimmers. This one's not going to be like the shimmy shimmer, you know, but look at that. That's beautiful. Copper Tone is such a pretty shade. Real easy to use. Next we have Iconic. This is the one that I told you I think it has a little bit of hard pan, but it's actually coming off as I rub into it. And you can see there it is performing just fine. And do we want to do the special shades last? Let's do the special shades last. I'm going to go into the 3 shades on the bottom. So we're going to start with Extreme Black, which I feel like this Extreme Black has not gotten any use. I feel like this might be the first or second time I've swatched it, but it's swatching great. Next we have the shade Dark. And finally we have Rose Dusk, which I think one of her other motherships has Rose Dusk, and I want to say it's Divine Rose. I'm not sure, don't quote me on it, but I think it is. Rose Dusk is so pretty. Like, just swatching these out like this, right here, like, okay, nothing to say. I have nothing to say. So let's get into our 4 special shades. So we have Bronze 005, VR Nectar, Blitz Emerald, and Astral Ghost Orchid. Starting with Bronze 005. Now these are going to be the ones where you might want to use a glitter primer. They are sparkly. They're those pop shades, really beautiful. We have VR Nectar. VR Nectar reminds me of a couple of indie shades that I have. The first one that stands out to me is Tucana, which is a Divina shade. There's one in my Sashimi City from Kaleidos. It's a Futurism quad. I can't remember the name of it, but same type of pink to gold flip. And I also have a Cleona shade that has a pink to gold flip. Formulation may be a little bit different, but I love having shades like this in a palette. I just think they're so beautiful. Next we have Blitz Emerald, which is another duochrome. Didn't really realize Blitz Emerald was a duochrome until not that long ago actually. But yeah, beautiful. And I'm not sure, like, before these motherships, like, how often do we see duochromes in palettes, but I know we see them all the time now because there's such an influx of indie brands and duochromes and multi-chromes. But I think for 2018, I'm certain this was probably not common. That's just my take on it. I would love to hear some of my other like makeup historians chime in because I love the history of makeup. And now that I've kind of been into the game or had a little makeup life for, I don't know, 3 years, it's enough where I can be like, oh, I remember when this came out, this was happening, or this, you know, like when Pat McGrath Divine Rose 2 came out, it was like, wow, that really sold out. Like, I just now have the experiences to kind of share. So if you are like kind of a makeup historian, let me know, like, was this innovative for the time? Because I still kind of think it is. And again, I know we have the indie space, which, you know, the indie space is my favorite. And Pat McGrath, you know, is indie, but you know what I'm saying? We have like different levels of indie. We've got like the small indie brands, which are the ones that I just absolutely adore. But Pat McGrath is a luxury brand. And I don't know if like, were luxury brands doing this in 2018? So we have Astral Ghost Orchid. Astral Ghost Orchid is beautiful. This is almost like a subdued fiery duochrome, which I love fiery duochromes. You know, one of my favorite duochromes is the shade Red Giant from Terra Moons. This is almost giving me a very, very, very subtle version of Red Giant because it has that fire in it. I love the name Astral Ghost Orchid. I love the names. So this is Sublime. I don't know about you. I don't hear a lot of people talk about Sublime at all. I hear about Divine Rose. I hear about Subversive. But yeah, Sublime, I don't know. Seems a little slept on, but it might just be me. This is such a beautiful color story. And I think that if you were looking to purchase a mothership and you wanted a mothership that you would use every day, but you still wanted it to have just something maybe a little out of your comfort zone so that when you wanted to do something different, you could. I feel like you can get that with Sublime. Because the other mothership that I would recommend would be Divine Rose. But with Divine Rose, and I probably would recommend the new one too, even though I haven't used that yet. Those are kind of like everyday type palettes. But now, you know, we also have Moonlit Seduction, which is another one I would recommend for someone's first mothership because you have like those cool tones in Moonlit Seduction, but you have some special shades that are going to give you something else. Divine Rose didn't have that for me. That's like, you just want basic and you're never going to want to just have anything. Like, it's still glam, but it's not going to give you like just something a little out the box. Sublime gives us that, you know, and that's why I think this palette is really special. If you take out the green shade, I mean, you pretty much have like just a basic neutral palette. So I'm going to be getting into 2 looks with this palette, and then I will come back at the end to let you know how much I still love her. I'm so mad. I was recording or I thought I was and I wasn't. I'm getting ready to go to my nephew's birthday dinner and I thought Sublime would be a perfect palette. And I also thought this would be a great time to try out the new Pat McGrath eyeshadow primer. I did look for the Intensifies eyeshadow wand because I never purchased that, but it was not on the site. So I'm guessing that it's discontinued. But we'll see how this primer does. I'm going to take this Rephr 14 brush. This is a little smaller than what I would normally start out with, but that is okay. I'm actually going to start with a shimmer. I'm going to start with Iconic today. And I rarely ever start with a shimmer, but I think Pat McGrath's shimmers, I don't know, for some reason they work really well as mattes. So let's test that out and test out this new primer. Again, this is a Rephr 14. This is a great brush for those of you who have hooded eyes and, you know, want to do detail work, or if you have small eyes or just not a lot of eye real estate. You know what I'm saying? I usually go with a fluffier brush, but this is fine. Taking it almost up to the eyebrow. And I love this. This metallic formula from Pat McGrath is so great as a matte, and that's why I liked the Decadence Mothership, because it has the same kind of metallic quality where you really don't have to pull out a companion palette. I need to pull that one out and do a Do We Still Love Her video. I'm really trying to get through the motherships. I don't think I'm going to get to them all realistically, but I'd love to rank them or even do what Alicia did with the top 5 motherships. I thought that was a really cool video. and I need to finish watching that. She was kind of unbiased with it, so it was not a ranking. It was just top 5 motherships. Like Sublime might not be in her top 5, but as far as a mothership, it is a top 5. So look how iconic looks on the lid. This is so easy. I don't think I've done that before, but I just know you can do that with her shades, and I thought this would be perfect to start with. And next I'm gonna go into the shade Dark, which is this one here. It's a beautiful smoky brown. I'm just gonna put that in the crease just to deepen up the look a little bit. And like Pat McGrath shadows, I don't care what anybody says. Like, I know oftentimes these days I am not seeing the vision always. I'm not. And I went from Pat McGrath collector to just passing on things, you know. But I'm coming back around to falling in love with a lot of the products that I have. It's more so the color stories that I don't like. But I've never gotten a bad product. I've never been like, this isn't good. I've just never felt that way. I'm going to go into Extreme Black right here. And I'm just taking the same brush. And I mean, you see how easy these shades are blending out. And I will let you know, this palette, I don't know, is at least 2 years old, probably 2 years old. I definitely didn't get it when it released, but I did get it on one of her sales. So I'm sure I've had it for 2 years at this point. But I'm just looking like the performance is like day one performance. And if it's changed, I can't tell. So really happy with how my Pat McGrath shadows are holding up over time. I think the only shadow that I felt like was a dud is Nocturnal Nirvana, that purple shade. If you know me, that purple shade drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. And that quad is just not my favorite. It is mostly because of the purple shade. Oh my God, why August has scared me. Why are you in the bushes? Bye. Come. You just looking for something to do. Look at that. That is the perfect base for any shimmer that you want to put on. This is the perfect combo. So we did Iconic, Dark, Extreme Black. So 1, 2, 3. Any shimmer you want to put on in this palette or any palette, you really don't need anything else. You really don't. And we could just make this an all matte look if we wanted to, but this is perfect. I'm wearing the shade Larch on my lips from Hourglass, and I'm wearing Paradise Glow because I did have to repurchase that since I broke mine, and Bronze, what's it called? No, Divine Glow, Pat McGrath bronzer. So let's go into a shimmer. It's gonna be one of these two today because this one is reminding me of Tucana from Divina, if you're familiar with that. This one is just beautiful. So let's use them both. How about that? So let's see. These shades, Bronze 005 is the gold, and then VR Nectar is the duochrome.
I scared you.
You did scare me, actually.
I was right there.
I know you were. I saw you. And so go ahead and go to the bathroom because we're leaving in 6 minutes. I'm just tapping this in. I think the Pat McGrath primer is going to be great for like just priming the eyes.
Do you have a charger?
I don't. I'm doing.
What's your phone on?
Don't ask me what my phone is on.
I need my phone on 4.
I'm so sorry. Mine's on 1. I think that the Pat McGrath primer is going to be a great primer just like for helping the eyeshadow last. But I'm still thinking that for these special shades, you're going to want like the Unearthly Glimmer Grasp. You're going to want that. And it seems like that's possibly what the Intensifies did, but I never tried that product, so I cannot speak on it. But now I'm taking the VR Nectar and I am just tapping that on to merge with Bronze 005, and I think that looks really great. Yeah, so you are going to get a little bit of fallout if you don't use something with that, and that's okay. I'm going to take a pencil brush and I'm going to go into the rosy shade, which is called Rose Dusk, this one here. Again, this is another satin shade. Yeah, it's not a complete matte shade. It's a satin, which this is going to be really pretty. underneath the lower lash line. Oh, I'm so happy right now, like. So yeah, so I think that looks really good. People don't want me to be great because I can't find my setting spray. So, oh well. I am now gonna go into my inner corner highlight. We are gonna be using Astral Ghost Orchid, which is this one. Is that? Oh, we're not. We're using this one, Astral Ghost Orchid. I was like, why does that look like that? Yeah, that's gonna be perfect. I don't use the Skin Show shades that much. I'm not that wild by them, but they're really nice shades for highlighting the brow bone, things like that. If you want Astral Ghost Orchid to pop a little more, you could oh, here's a setting spray right in front of my face. Just taking my Hourglass Veil because it is 4:57. I told them we leave it at 5, so. But you can see, like, these are looks that don't take that long. You can do them in a jiffy, you know, not a jiffy. Let me take the Astral shade here. Yeah, see the Astral shade, I mean the Skin Show shade, excuse me, is giving me a little more. I'm not putting it in the brow bone because then I'm gonna be mad. All right, I'm gonna be mad because I'm not gonna like it. So I'm going to go into, I'm gonna do a black liner today, actually, because I have on this black denim jumpsuit. I just think the black is gonna really look nice. And then we're gonna put on the Pat McGrath Dark Star Mascara. I think that's gonna really make this look pop. And I used to have a permagel liner, I believe. And I was listening to Alicia talk about it. She was talking about black coffee. I'm gonna see if that's still available since she is having her sale. But she was just talking about how like that shade can really like ground a look, and then you can just take, you know, one of the other shades and put it on. She was actually talking about that in regards to the Subversive palette, but I'm certain that could go with any of the palette. Then maybe we'll put a little bit of a highlighter on too, since I'm pressed for time. That's how I like to do it, you know? It's always a race against time, but it's all good because we're not supposed to be there till 6. It's not gonna take us a whole hour to get there, but you know, I have to give myself the time limit because I know how I roll. And I often think I need less time than I do. You did? Okay, well give me 1 second and I will get it. You can't do it though. You can't approve it. I have to approve it. I really do like the Dark Star mascara. It's nice. You want to say hi? Tell them how excited you are about the...
Yo, hi.
August is wearing Father Figure by Fleur. So is Marky. And I'm wearing Vanilla Woods by the 7 Virtues. Highlighter. Let's take this one here. This one is called Divine Rose.
Marky.
Just gonna take this little brush here and just give me a little, ooh yeah, just give me a little something there. Like, these highlighters are bomb. Just bomb. We'll sweep this across the brow bone there. Like, why not? All right, let me show you the final look. I think this is beautiful. This is an everyday look that you could do. You can glam up with some lashes. I think it's so pretty. Yes, we didn't even have to use a green. And that's the thing, like, those special shades are optional and you can just, you know, the only thing is the palette's not like convenient to travel with, but it's definitely a palette that can go from day to night. And I love that about Sublime. Let me show you my outfit and then we're gonna get to the second look. So this is from the Gap. It's got pockets, got my lipstick in there, and I have on my black denim Converses. So, and it's 5:02, so I'm gonna get out of here. But for you, I'll be back in a second so we can do one more look and just talk about how we still love her, because we know we do. All right, you guys, let's get into look number 2 with Sublime. I am wearing some Pat McGrath products on my face that I wanted to mention. I'm wearing Electric Bloom, her blush. I'm wearing Desert Glow bronzer, and I'm also wearing Lunar Lavender, no, that's not what it's called. That's not what it's called. Lunar Nude highlighter. I rediscovered this in my collection, y'all, and I think this is like my new favorite highlighter. So that's what I'm wearing by Pat McGrath today, and we're ready to get into it. No, I have not cleaned my brushes yet, so the choices are becoming very slim, but I'm gonna take this angled brush from Lethal Cosmetics, and I would like to enjoy the shade Copper Toned today. I am wearing my NARS eyeshadow primer. I do have the Pat McGrath primer, and I'm actually liking it. I think it's really similar to the NARS primer, to be honest. So if you like the NARS primer, I think you would really enjoy the Pat McGrath primer, especially if you want to take advantage of her sale, which I am hoping is still going on when you see this video, because yeah, I hope it's still going on. I always hope a sale is still going on. It's important. So using this in place of a matte transition, and you can see that it looks like a matte. I mean, it's got some sheen, but it's not super shimmery or sparkly. And that's what I love about these shades and this formula from Pat McGrath. Not to mention the ease. Can we talk about the ease? I mean, I have to say that, like, you want ease in your life, this is gonna give it to you, because that's all we're doing here. And I mean, the reality is that you can put this all over the lid and use a brown or black liner, make a little wing, which I'm not, you know, doing wings too much. I'm not great at it. It's not gonna be that's not ease for me. But, you know, I like to put my liner like in my lashes just to make it really deep. That's it. Like, you don't even really need to have a smoke shade. Like, you're going to run some errands, put a little bit of this on. Gives you a like beautiful, easy flush. So pretty. We're gonna go into dark again. That's just the outer corner shade for me at this time. Oh my gosh, did I use Rose Dusk? No. Let me see, can I put Rose Dusk in the crease or something? Yeah, let's do Rose Dusk in the crease, and then we'll do dark. So you see Rose Dusk is just giving it a little bit of something extra flavor and extra fun. Let me stop. Okay. And just look at that. I mean, I lost my mic getting excited. Hold on. Yeah, I've been re-falling in love with all my Pat McGrath stuff because she's having this sale. Like, I got some stuff. I'm like, ooh, let me just pull out everything I have. I'm using her liners, like the lip liners. I don't have any Pat McGrath eyeliners, but I'm using the lip liners. You know, y'all know I got a little bit of loyalty when it comes to eyeliners. But the Pat McGrath ones are on sale, and I'm like, ooh, do I want to try them? So let me know if you like the Pat McGrath eyeliners, because I love the lip liners. Definitely. Let's go into extreme black. Let's try to get a little deep with this. I just started getting into using black eyeshadow because I did not realize the subtlety of using a black eyeshadow and how important a black eyeshadow can be in a palette when you want to change up the vibe of a look. I just didn't get that. Not until 2023, y'all, for real. Enough of the playing around. We're going into extreme emerald, blitz emerald. We're gonna take the Intensifies primer. I looked for the wand, but I guess that's over and done with. So let me know, did you think that was a great product? Because I did miss out on the Intensifies eyeshadow wand. All right, going into a Blitz Emerald, y'all. Let's zoom in for effect. Yes, and see the texture on this shade is so pretty. It's so sparkly. It gives that extra dimension, as the YouTubers say. It's so good. It does give extra dimension, though. Let me stop. It does. That's nice. So this primer's nice. I wanted the Glimmer Grasp just because the base is so tacky, but that is okay. Can't have it all in life. So yeah, I love this. Now I definitely recognize we can blend this out a little bit more. But yeah, that looks really good. Spectacular. And then I'm going to go into this Singe Beauty brush Let's just take Rose Dusk underneath the lower lash line and let's mix it with our copper shade, which is called Copper Toned. Because I feel like she has a shade called Copper Charge somewhere, so I might be making that up, but yes. Okay, then I'm gonna take my pencil brush. We're gonna go into the Skin Show shade that I say I never like, which is called Skin Show Glow. Did I use the Skin Show? I wonder did I use that in the last look? I hope not, because I was trying to provide a little bit of royalty in the look. And let's do this. I hate doing this, but we're gonna do that. Put some up in the brow bone, because that is what this I was gonna say this flavor. This shade is good for. Oh my gosh, I love how on the Pat McGrath site, like when you want to buy a hoodie, it'd be like it comes in 4 shades. I don't know why that makes me laugh every time, but I'll tell you what, it didn't make me laugh that they didn't have the hoodie in my size. I would have taken a medium or large. That wasn't happening. Wasn't in the cards. I'm gonna get a liner. Let's do that while we're here together. Ooh, is this Bordeaux? Because, yeah, I lost Bordeaux for like a week. Turns out it was with my eyeshadow brushes, which are right here in front of my face. It just didn't see it. But Bordeaux, like, no, we can't be without her. I'm just doing a quick little, see that? Quick little once over. That's what I'm talking about. Not playing no games, not trying to pull and tug. No, we're not here for that life. No, we are not. Just like that. Okay. Well, Dark Star's not, oh yes she is. I'm about to be like, Dark Star's not available, but she is. We are using Pat McGrath Dark Star Mascara because I did repurchase this. This is my second bottle. I have other mascaras that I'm using. So most commonly, you'll see me using the Thrive Cosmetics mascara. I do have a Tarte Maneater mascara that I'm just trying to get through, but I don't know. Maybe that was good for the time, but I'm not that amazed by it. And honestly, I like drugstore mascaras. I haven't really found the huge difference between drugstore and luxury. However, the Pat McGrath Dark Star is nice. It is volumizing. I do feel like this brush is good for grabbing all the lashes. It's like, I was gonna say it kind of goes in the middle. Yeah, I don't know what that structure does, but I do feel like it does give some thickness to all the lashes and grabs them pretty easy. The other thing is, like, the mascara, for me, it doesn't flake or anything like that through the course of the day. So I really enjoy Dark Star. When I got it because it was on sale. But, you know, I probably would be just as happy using my other mascaras too. But, you know, I do like this. Now, what I don't know is the difference between this one and the Fetish Eyes. I know I did have the Fetish Eyes, but I've never compared the two. I just know Dark Star came out after Fetish Eyes. So I'm sure Kinky Sweat, Alicia Archer, I'm sure she has a video. I might try to go look that up because I'm just curious. Oh my gosh, you know what I bought today? They have the false mascara, you know, those little fake lashes or the lashes that you put on but they go underneath. Well, now they have them and it doesn't even have a glue. It has some bond technology or something. So I bought 2 packs of those and I might try them on vacation. We'll see. Just gonna refresh my lip balm, which is Call It a Day by Gucci. Oh my God, oh my God. Okay, here's look number 2 with Sublime. Tell me that's not gorgeous. Like, you can't, I can't. So pretty. Okay, let me give you my final thoughts about our baby. I still love her. I mean, I don't really know what you can say. I really couldn't make no comments about Pat McGrath Motherships and maybe, you know, the color story maybe, but as far as the formula, the blendability, like I'm using this palette, like I have palettes. Y'all have seen me use palettes. Like my Odin's Eye palette. I pulled that out after a year and found a dried up shade. Like these are performing like day one shadows, okay? And I can appreciate that. Like, forget the 18-month shelf life. This is performing like I just got it. The color story is still relevant, so beautiful, easy to use, could be someone's everyday palette. And I mean, if you look at the first look I did and then this look, like you can see, like you can do something really imagine this with some lashes. Look how bold this is, like with this lip. This is bold eyes and nude lips, y'all. Y'all know that is, woo, woo, okay. So excited, oh my God. It's so crazy because even though the Pat McGrath releases haven't been my favorite lately, I think you can tell. I always love using my Pat McGrath shadows. There's nothing like them. I always love using them. And I feel like people always know. I don't know if it's the love that I feel when I put on the shadows. I don't know what it is. But I will say this, her shadows are top notch. They are lasting. They are standing the test of time over some other brands that I have. And when I do go back and put them on, I still love them. I really do. That's going to be it for this video. And I hope this has given inspo to people who have just bought the palettes, because her sale is outstanding. I mean, getting 40% off of Mothership is great. I know that a lot of her products are being found in Marshalls and TJ Maxx, but for some reason they're not found in mine. So, you know, getting them from her site is really all I've got. So I do hope that this is giving some inspiration to wherever you have found her Mothership palettes. And hopefully if you purchase Sublime, just know, or if you were thinking about it, Sublime might be a sleeper, but it's gorgeous. It is really gorgeous. And I'm happy to have her in my collection. She definitely has a place here. Thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me for another Do We Still Love Her video. I hope this is therapy for you. It always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you're being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice. Stay safe. And you know I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Bye.